Steve and I have a 2015 Kia Sportage here in the shop. We're getting ready to change the Serpentine Belt on it.
All right, so we got our tensioner here. We got a 17mm wrench on it, and you know I don't have my tool here for the belt tensioner, so we're going to use a couple of wrenches here and pull this thing up and then slip it off. So, I'll roll that off. Okay. And we'll show you how the belt runs on this thing. When you do it, you got to take a good look at it, maybe take a picture of it, you know, how it runs. It's tight. We were looking at taking the cover off the bottom of it. Didn't look like we would really gain too much. So, this is going to be down here. Goes around the crankshaft. Down here. And it's down around the compressor on the bottom. So, that was the easy part. Belt is correct. We're going to get this down to go around the crankshaft. This is the fun part. We're probably going to get a bar, try and help us push this thing down, and it goes around the crankshaft, and then it goes underneath this idler pulley right here, this first pulley, like that. So we got to get something to get the belt down around the crankshaft. Okay, so we've got it around the crankshaft pulley, down below the compressor, and we come around the bottom idler pulley. Now I need to connect this belt and swing it down around the balancer here. And what we have, this pulley I have to get this pulley on the bottom one, and I have it on the top one. So we got two idler pulleys down here. This one has to go on the bottom one, and I have it on the top one. So I have to try and hold this belt somehow, and so it don't fall off, and get it on this bottom crankshaft pulley.
Wait a minute. All right, so Steve and I are in the middle of putting the Serpentine Belt on my father's Kia. What a pain in the ass. So it took two of us to slip this thing on. You almost need two people, one to kind of hold one end. We used like a pry bar to hold things in place, and we're going to show you what we did and how it should be routed. All right, with Steve, what do you got going on?
So we have the belt routing here.
Yep.
And it runs from the crankshaft, and then it runs up around the tensioner here.
Yep.
And you got all kinds of lights in the way. Move that over there so it runs from the crankshaft. Yeah, okay, so it runs from the crankshaft, runs around the tensioner on the top, and then it runs back over to the power steering pump, and then it runs back from the power steering pump straight across to the top idler pulley, and it goes down underneath this lower tensioner, lower idler here, which was a pain. So what we did was we got this all set up on it, and then I pulled up on the tensioner down here with the 17mm wrench.
Yep.
And Tony slung the belt over the power steering pulley.
I grabbed the end of this belt down here in my hand while Steve was holding the tensioner up on this side.
All the way.
Huh?
Yeah, hold the tensioner up all the way. And we originally just slipped the belt off here, but we couldn't get the wrench back in here with trying to slide the belt back on, because it kept wanting to fall off the idler pulley on this side down here. So yeah, it's almost like a two-man job. So
this is how the routing goes. I'm hoping that I can get this pretty good. So it's gonna go around here. That was the way we attacked it, and we were trying to figure this out for like 20 minutes. But how Steve and I just described it seemed to be the easiest way.
Yeah, so if you remember, from the compressor, it's gonna run straight up to the alternator, and then it tucks down below the bottom idler here. And then from the bottom idler, it runs around and it comes up to the top idler, and then it runs over to the power steering pump. But from the crankshaft, the belt runs around the crankshaft and it goes to the tensioner first. And then it runs back down towards the compressor. So it was very tight. So that's basically what we needed to do to get this thing on there.
Wanted to show you on camera, you know, how the routing goes and what we needed to do. If you guys have any comments, leave a comment and we'll answer them for you. But it was a little bit of a pain. You can do it in your driveway. It just may take, you know, a buddy to help you out to hold things in place.